And here we go. Vanessa, you find yourself, you've just had a conversation with your captain. You did exactly what you were told, and you went to her and told her the truth. You need to do
Yes,
this. You need to get away from the demon that is currently controlling you and find some other way to do what you need to do. Cassandra, being a good captain, understood completely. And she told you to do what you needed to do and offered her support. And then went back to doing what she needs to do, which is taking care of the rest of the crew. You are offered a ride across the river by one of the crew of the boat in one of the actual the Espoir. One of them has a small rowboat that offers you a ride across the river. And once you get to the other side, they look at you and kind of look back over their shoulder at the boat and look at you again. And Jim says, "Now you take care of yourself out there, Missy."
I will. You will be sure. And now you can come back. I can handle everything.
"I'm sure you can, miss, but I'd feel a lot better if you took this." And he hands you a coin, a little gold coin, not a little gold coin, a great big gold coin. And on one side of it is a picture of the Espoir, your ship. And on the other side, when you flip it over, is a picture of you and uh, and Ben and Cassandra and Anchor.
Vanessa will ask where you have this from. I feel like it's not common currency.
"That's a one-off, miss. I made that just for you. I got others for the rest of them when they come back to the ship, but that one's just for you."
Thank you. And Vanessa will take and she will longer look at this coin and think that it's kinda like memory collection coin, but
Yes,
not to spend.
yes. And when you close your hand around it, it feels warm. It feels, it's not just a coin. There's something about this that is magic.
Also Vanessa will when she was going yelling, why you are giving me this now? I'm not gonna die, so why now?
"Well, miss, we've been working on 'em, me and some of the other crew, for quite a while now. Frankly, since we got to this island and you started saving people. That coin's not, it's not about where you're going. It's about where you've been. It's not about what you're gonna be, but it's about what you are. Pure gold, miss."
Vanessa kinda blush, but she hid it
Yeah.
under her hood, and she also think to herself, uh-huh, another poet will find, and she will go,
All pirates are poets, right? As you turn to leave,
yes,
you see him stand up in the rowboat, which is not an easy thing to do, but he's a sailor, and he salutes you as you walk away.
Vanessa will salute back, but she was thinking like, why she is not Captain Cassandra, and she go.
Yep. And he doesn't explain it, but the truth is, it's because he respects you and he sees you as a leader. He also respects what you're doing, and he understands that sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and sometimes that means putting yourself in horrible mortal danger to do it. And he respects that, so he's showing you that. But as you turn to walk away, there's a sort of a tingling sensation in the pouch where you keep the compasses that you've got, the ones that point at the people that you're supposed to hunt.
I will pull out from bag compass
Yeah.
and book and and put into back coin.
Yeah, so the coin goes in the bag. I love it. Um, the the compasses, when you try to use them, they just spin. They don't point anywhere. And you hear your demon's voice in your head say, "See, I'm making it easier for you. Now you don't have to kill anyone for me. Keep me."
Then why I should have you? What you have what you have advantage when I'm not doing what you want?
You have power. I gave you power. You can shoot things. You can kill things at a thought.
I'm not asking what I have. I'm asking what you have.
And there's a long pause. I feed on this relationship.
But you saying I don't need to do what you want. And so what you feed.
I want you to. I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to get rid of me, and I don't want to go. I rather like being in this mix with you.
But you still nothing have from me when you say I don't need to care. And Vanessa shook.
Mm-hmm. And you've hit the nail absolutely on the head. This is a creature of contracts, and they're voluntarily letting you out of your biggest contract. Something is up. There must be a benefit for them somewhere. I'm going to do for you a sizing up, I think. What you're trying, because
Okay.
you said you're trying to figure out what he's doing, right? Oh, 9 plus
Yes.
2, 11. So that's as successful as it gets. You think about all the times that you made this thing mad and it went and locked itself in its room in your head and it got upset and offered you deals and changed things. It turns out you realize that if you throw him out of your head, he will die. He does not have a demon body to go back to. So he's literally fighting for his life. That's why he's willing to give you the deal.
But I'm thinking like if he really wants to survive and alive, he would treat me better, like with sugar, like he was so nice, fake nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep him, but he's making it worse by locking him and doing stuff like that,
Yep.
and telling me that he will take away my powers or gun,
Mm-hmm.
and Vanessa will keep going because he was so stupid how he acted,
Yes. Yes.
and now it's too late to make things up.
Yes, exactly. I love it. That is what his demon self is. He is not smart. He is 100% self centered. He only ever thought of you as a way to get things done. It was never a partnership from his point of view. You also realize you have the power with a single sentence to ban him, to throw him out of you. You don't know what that would do to your powers, but you have the power to do that now. And that's why he's scared.
But also, Vanessa will keep looking for options
Mhm.
because I don't want to not have powers in this world.
Yes.
So she will keep walking and waiting for his reply for this realization that he was stupid how he acted and now too late.
Yeah. And that's what you're expecting, but all you get from him is just endless whining about, oh, all the things I've done for you and all the powers I've given you, and you don't want to give them back. You don't want to pay the price. And he's not getting better. He's getting worse. He's getting more self centered. He's not being nice at all. He's not trying to win you over at all. And at some point, he starts trying to bully you. Just do what I tell you. Just do what I tell you. We can take over. We can have this whole island to ourselves. He's making promises
But,
he can't keep. You know
but,
that, right?
but, and Vanessa will say, but I was doing what you asked. Didn't I kill this Viking king? And she will also tell, I was keeping price, and still it didn't work at all. And now I feel like I need change.
And there's that pouty response that you've gotten before. He's just kind of rumph, and he gets all grumpy and storms down the hall into his little room in your head again. And as that door slams shut, you hear another voice. It's like it comes up from the ground that you're walking on. It is a huge voice. It is a voice like what the sound a continent would make if it could speak. And this massive voice vibrates up through your feet, and it says, "Come to me."
Okay, whoever you are. And Vanessa will look around where to go, and she's like cautious looking around and not knowing who is talking and where from.
Yeah. As you look around to sort of try and figure that out, you see the volcano ahead of you. You know the city's over there somewhere, but you can see the volcano in the distance. And there's a poof of smoke that comes out of the top. And you hear it again. Come to me.
But where to come? I don't mean volcano. Did you just tell me where to go? And Vanessa is like this John Travolta, confused
Yeah.
and half straight.
Yes. And the voice comes back again. Come to my body. And you see the volcano in the distance kind of shudder a little bit like there's an earthquake, and a couple small avalanches run down the side. I am here. So they're in the vault. Whatever's calling
Okay,
you is in the volcano.
okay, but please not explode volcano. We don't have time to evacuate the whole island. And she start going into
Yeah,
volcano.
perfect. The Once you start moving in that direction, you feel a sort of almost like a magnetic pull. Something wants you there, but it is absolutely the opposite of the demon in your head. The demon in your head is selfish and self centered and only wants you because you can do things. This voice, this presence that's in the mountain ahead of you, wants to give you powers so that you can do good deeds, so that you can save this world.
Okay, and she will go.
Okay? As you start to walk in that direction, there's still roads here, right? I mean, it's been 30 years since a lot of people were here, but there is still roads, and you're walking up sort of a cart path that's grown in the middle because there's not been very many carts on it. The grass is growing up, but as you come around a corner in the around a pile of rocks, you see ahead of you a couple of things. One is a cart. It's not a big cart. It looks like maybe it'd be big enough for 3 or 4 bales of hay, maybe, and a seat. But attached to it, instead of animals in the front, there are 4 zombies, but they're turned off at the moment. Like you know how they when there's nobody around, they just sort of go limp. So there's four
And
zombies sort of hanging in the straps for this cart, and on the back of the cart,
Vanessa,
yep,
Vanessa will scream like, like William, she will scream, and she will sneak to the cart and start use instrument so zombies will be like horses and
Yes.
get her
Yep.
faster to volcano.
Perfect. As you get to the cart and you start, you get out your drum and get ready to play, you notice that on the back of the cart there's a stick that kind of it's a spring-loaded stick that goes into the spokes of the back wheel, so that if the cart moves, it's going to go bang, 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 like your drum. So the idea is if you get the cart moving, the cart makes the noise which keeps the zombies moving. And then all you have to do is steer.
I will do that.
Okay. So I can see you sort of creep up on the cart with your drum, and you're just about to get in the cart and start drumming, and then you realize, oh, all I have to do, and you just put your hands out and push the cart just a little bit, just enough to make that first click, and they react and they take a step, and that pulls the cart a little more, and there's another click, and then you just jump onto the cart and start to ride, right?
Yeah,
Okay. As you do, it's you start to realize that when you get away from the areas where whoever this zombie master has been, it's nicer out here. There's there's some small trees and shrubs, and you hear a noise you haven't heard maybe ever. You hear birds chirping in the trees. You hear the skittering of little critters and little lizards running around. You see lit in the sun a spider web with a spider in the middle of it. Away from the river, away from the toxicity of whoever did all of this, the land is starting to recover.
Vanessa will dream out how would be cool to make house here, but she only dream like in fairy tale. She not plan to make
Oh, yes.
house,
Yeah.
just think like what if. And
So,
she also
yeah.
start and as the road is long, she will reflect about her past and why she make a deal in first place.
Yes. Perfect. The little demon in your head opens up the door at the end of his hallway and screams out, "Do you remember? Do you remember? It's all why you picked me in the first place." And then, like a petulant child, slams the door again. So you do remember. Tell us about that. Tell us about the day you said yes to your demon.
Vanessa was raised in very strict religious family, like very extreme. And when she was teenager, she wanted to rebel this horrible family. She wanted change. She wanted to have freedom and power. So she read in one of book of Cassandra, she borrowed about these demons and powers and pacts, and she met it in secret from her family. But when family found out, they throw away her from house, kick out, and she had to be like outsider of village because of this pact, because this family was renowned in this pirate village.
Yes. So is that then? We determined you knew Cassandra. You've grown up with Cassandra, but was that the moment when your family threw you out that you went to Cassandra and said, "I want to be part of your team"?
We were meeting every Sunday, but, but Vanessa was living on street until this whole mission food. She was like still stealing, and she was like assassin after all, going
Right.
on stuff. But Cassandra invited her on this mission with food because they know each other.
So Cassandra sort of saved you with food and the offer of a job
Yes,
and accepting. I think the key thing is that she accepted you for who you are, right?
yes, but Vanessa was thinking that maybe she was kinda guilty. She borrowed this book, but she never asked.
Ah, okay. Oh, I like that. So yeah, typical uh, teenage rebellion, right? You just I can't do this anymore. I have to be different, and you made a really bad call, and then tried to make the
Yes,
best of it. And then while you were struggling with the results of that decision, your friend Cassandra, in an effort to help you, invited you to join her group, and eventually ended up with all of these other fine folks on the Espoir, right?
yes.
Perfect. So, as you're thinking about all of that and driving down the road, the demon in your head, you could hear them slamming around in their room. Like they're wrecking things in there, like they're very, very angry. But at that moment, you see ahead of you, out of the trees, a group of scrub trees ahead of you on one side of the path, a bolter, one of the fast zombies. It stands up out of the bush, turns towards you, and and starts to charge towards you. What do?
Shoot
You
with
shoot it.
my gun and
Absolutely.
keep it going.
Okay. So let's have 8 plus 2
I,
is a
I,
10. So yeah.
I also I also hit my head with my hand to keep more quiet to focus on shooting while this ignoring noises in
I
head.
love it. Basically, tell your demon to shut up. You're focusing over here. And as that bolter comes up out of the bush, it's from a distance, it's like watching a ballet dancer. There's just this flow as you stand up out of the seat. Your pistol is suddenly sort of just in your hand. You're looking down the barrel. You see this beast turn towards you. It hasn't even taken a full step yet when you pull the trigger and you rolled a 10, which is a full success. So you pull the trigger and it hits it sort of in the shoulder, and you see the arm come right off because your bullets are very powerful. It blows the one arm off of it. It turns, it spins to the side, almost falls down, stands back up. You pull the trigger again, and it just blows the neck and other shoulder off. The head falls to the ground. The body falls to the ground. The feet are still trying to move. They're still trying to walk, but even that, it's like a snake. It just takes a minute, and the twitching stops. The four zombies pulling your cart don't even break stride.
And Vanessa is back to thinking and dreaming.
Absolutely. So, as you continue to do that, you can feel the demon in your head just getting more and more angry. As you come around another little corner in the path, you can see ahead of you down by a small lake. You can see a makeshift village. It's mostly just like lean-tos. There's no real houses. It's just sort of homemade tents and little tiny huts made out of dirt and sand and a couple of sticks. But there's about half a dozen people in it. And the weird part with this little town is everywhere you look, you see things from the city. There's couches and mirrors and um, record players and just everything you can imagine. Curtains hanging on these crappy little houses, but they've got very expensive curtains hanging in the window. There's a really nice brass pot cooking over an open fire. These people are obviously scavenging from town or from the city.
Vanessa we Vanessa we looking around clothing black,
Mm-hmm.
like in hairstyle, if anybody's selling while she's still moving.
Yep,
And if not, she will keep going because she don't have any business here.
absolutely. So as you get closer, they notice you first. You see somebody pointing and yelling, and the way that they react is very, well, maybe predictable. They run into their little huts and hovels, and you can see them peeking around corners and peeking out of windows, and the ones that don't have houses are hiding behind trees and peeking out and looking at you. These people are desperate. They're clearly starving. They're afraid of you. Uh, Nobody is making an effort to talk to you. They're just sort of hiding and waiting for you to go by.
For Vanessa, it's normal because in Pirate Village, also nobody wanted to talk with her
Yes.
after
Yeah.
Pact.
Yeah. You get the impression this isn't about your demon. This isn't about even your demonic arm. This is just they see you as a threat to their very existence. You kind of see a reflection of yourself in their fear. You're powerful. You're strong. They just heard gunshots. You've just come out of the wild nature that's full of zombies, untouched. And not only that, but riding a cart pulled by zombies. You're scary powerful to them, right?
And Vanessa is looking at her hands and thinking, so this is my future with this fellow? Like, after mission, I will be like that? And she look at her hands.
And you look down and you see the one human hand and the one demon hand, and you realize that probably that's what you're going to look like from now on. But as much as you see fear in the eyes of these people, I think it would remind you of the exact opposite that you've seen in other people. The pirate village loved you. They thought you were wonderful. The people on the coast, you saved them. For good people, you're a hero. For bad people like this, you're like the cops.
I feel more like William, like every William from cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
when people are afraid of me, and I will be lonely
Yep.
if I keep going with this pact.
Yes. Speaking of the pact, your demon comes out of his room and storms back into the front of your brain. It says, "You want me gone? Just leave me here. I'll take one of these."
What it is?
One of these people.
But I don't want hurt anybody. I don't want to someone have the same fate like me when they don't want.
And before you get a reaction from inside your head, the ground vibrates again. And the voice comes up through your feet again. And it says, "This is what makes you special. You do not wish harm, even though harm has been done to you."
I'm not special. I done so much harm to other people in past. And Vanessa will put her head down even more.
Just making a note here. The voice comes up through your feet and says, "Do you understand restitution? Do you understand that you can make up for what you have done?"
But it's not too late for me.
It is not. We need to remove the filth from your brain and let you think clearly.
But then, what will be look future? So I will go back to my parents and be quite happy. I don't like this idea either.
I will not leave you powerless. The difference between me and that thing in your head is that I require no payment. I require only that you do good deeds.
But it will be hard for me after so many years. It will be
Yes,
unnatural for me.
yes, it will. And that willingness to change, that force of will, that being that is inside of you that has not been allowed to be free since that demon took over. Let me help you let
But
that free.
but I'm scared that some people from my past won, like this pirates village will be fake nice to me, my parents and all that. I just scared.
They will see the real you for the first time. And I assure you, they will be impressed.
But I'm not hero, and she will brush her hand on other hand like fingers
Yep.
stressed.
Your body does not decide whether you are a hero. Your hands do not decide if you are a hero. Even your mind does not decide if you are a hero. Your actions speak. You have saved dozens already, and there are hundreds more waiting for you to save them.
What if I want ordinary, simple life instead of being hero?
That is what every hero wishes for. And in the end, it is what every hero gets.
Vanessa is kinda like upset because she feel like some judge make verdict before she even born to be hero, and she can't do anything about that, and she sighed like eh, and she keep going.
And for the moment the voice goes away, but you can tell it's confused. It doesn't quite understand you yet. But for now it leaves you, and your demon in your head, when you check in on them, they're thin. They're almost transparent. You can see them fighting to stay. But your beliefs and your desire to have to be done with them is having an effect. It's making them weaker.
But if he really want stay, he should start offering anything that desperate.
Yep. And as you're waiting for that to happen, you realize they're done. They have nothing left to offer you. A lot of the power and the things that they promised you all those years ago as a teenager were lies. They've never had the power to make you do anything. You've agreed, but as soon as you choose not to agree, you take away all their power. You, Vanessa, can decide when and if this thing is out of your head.
Vanessa will pull out coin again to think about, everything while
There's,
driving.
yeah, and there's the espoir on one side, and you flip it over, and there's the four of you. And it reminds you, I think, that in the eyes of the crew, you're also a hero. Maybe you don't want this, but you're good at it. And if you do it long enough, maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to build that house on that hill back there and listen to the birds and watch the recovery.
But also, I will be forced to keep helping and keep saving people. And because of that, I will never have simple, ordinary life like most people, even pirates in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And she sighed again like eh, and she put her head back and hand of back of cart like if she tired.
Yep. Yeah, I get it. It's like there's no good decision at this point, right? Like there's no way out. There's no way to get
Yes,
where you want to be from here. And while you're mulling that over, the cart continues to move along and you leave the little village behind you. And you can smell it before you see it. The city. It smells like rotten food and poop and just stinky people and rotten buildings and fires that burned a long time ago that have gone out. It's a horrific smell. And as you get closer, you can start to hear a noise. Just a and you realize that it's the thousands of zombies that are in this city. They're all stirred up, and you can see as you come over a little crest, you can see the city off to the side and slightly below you, and you can see the pens. There are two pens in this city in what used to be an amphitheater, like an auditorium outside, and one's got men in it and one's got women in it. They've got giant feeding devices like a hamster has in their cage, like the wheel or the water and the food device, and that's how they're fed. But you can see that those are almost empty. You know that your friends are going there to save those people, but it's a horrible thing to see.
Vanessa will cover her face from smell and she stop cart and go with grappling hook on rooftops
Yeah.
of houses
Yep.
and look and keep looking where to go. And also she will look for things to for herself because she know she can save those people. She
Yes.
don't want attention
Yeah.
right now.
What you as you're flittering around and sort of gathering information, I want to do another roll for you here. I got an idea. Wow, 13 on a size up roll, uh, which is the maximum you can possibly get. So you, as you're looking around, you see that there is, you know, your friends. You know the people on the Espoir, especially Anchor. You know he could bash his way in here. And while there are thousands of zombies, they move real slow. So you have, I think, I suspect. Well, you tell me. Do you have confidence in the rest of the party's ability to get in here and rescue these people?
Yes, and I feel like I'm not good person to alone save those
No,
people.
fair
Like
enough. Yeah. And if,
and also
yeah,
and also I don't want attention from these bad people.
of course, yeah. Um, the if you go back and watch Friday's episode, they kick the shit out of this town and rescue the people, but you don't know that right now. So what you do see though is there's signs on the walls, and they're all sort of a theme. They say things like stay in line, follow the rules, do as I say. And then just when you're about to leave, you see one more. And the rest of them have all been in sort of big block letters and very, as I was, the way I said it on Friday is they look like they're written with a ruler, right? You remember the old alarm clocks that had
Yes,
the square numbers on them? It's written like that, right? It's very, very precise. And if you measured them, all the lines are exactly the same length. But then there's one scrawled on the wall, and you can tell from the look of it that the person that wrote this was mad as a hatter, as they say, was completely broken down, utterly insane. And it says in huge scratchy letters on one wall, why won't you listen?
Vanessa will act like, okay, and she will keep going.
Okay.
And she will looking for store with clothing
Oh,
because
yeah.
she still want more edgy looking.
Okay. So I was going to ask what you were
She
looking for,
wanted,
but yeah, tell me
she
tell me
wanted,
what you find. There's clothing stores all over the place in this town, and it's easy enough to
I
find
want,
one. So
I want something like from Hot Topic, like a dress or maybe jacket, leather, black, something like very edgy.
okay, all right. So a dress, black leather, a hood still, or are you putting your face out?
Anything that could be scream edgy.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you have to go to a couple different places, but yeah, there's that sort of thing is available. It's and by the time you're done, I mean the leather is so new that it kind of still creaks when you walk. But yeah, when you head back out to the cart outside of town, because all you have to do to stop the cart is put the brake on, and as soon as the cart stops, it stops making noise and the zombies go dormant, right? So by the time you get back to your cart, you are. Is it fair to say you're striding boldly, like you're in full Janet mode right now?
Yes,
Okay. In that case, I'm not going to make you do a roll, but you realize just before you get back to the cart that this confidence has nothing to do with the demon in your head. That the power you feel has nothing to do with the demon in your head. In fact, the demon in your head has shut up and is just sitting there pouting and fading by the second. The more confident you are in yourself, the more you tell yourself you're going to do the right things here, the weaker he gets.
and she will be like ironic or more like sarcastic.
Yes.
Oh, where is this mighty demon?
And as you say that, they shrink down and curl in on themselves. And by the time you're done the sentence, they look like an imp from Dungeons and Dragons. They're the little, like in Baldur's Gate, right at the start. They look like that. Just the little red body and the wings, and it's just, they're not powerful or strong or anything. You're seeing them for what they really are, which is a fraud, a fake. Somebody who made promises to you and gave you powers, but they didn't have any power themselves. Certainly not any power over you. And it is at this moment that you realize it never was a one way deal. It was never about your choices. This thing tricked you. It took advantage of you and it's been lying to you for years. Yes, you have powers, but as you start to think about it, you remember back to a few hours ago when you pulled out your pistol and shot that bolter. There was no sparkle from within. There was no demonic strength that gave you the ability to make that shot. That was 100% you. The demon did not help. And yet, somehow, you were every bit as deadly as you always have been.
I will again look at coin.
You pull that coin out again, and you notice on that coin your arms. They're not hidden. Nobody's done anything to sort of hide your demon arm. In fact, the way that you're posed in the picture, the demon arm is out front. They accepted you for who you are. It wasn't about the demon, it's about you.
I will hold tight this coin and kinda kiss my hand with this coin and hide back and keep going.
And as you kiss your hand, that's a magic moment. There's no doubt about it. You can hear and feel a crack in your head. And when you look again, there's a shape where the demon used to be, but he's gone. You sort of start looking around your brain to see, has anything changed? And you're still absolutely convinced that you could do all the things that you did before. In fact, you step into a shadow and you draw upon yourself that cloak of shadows that you can make, and you feel it settle around you like armor. You pull out your pistol, and it is the most natural thing in the world. It's just whoosh, it just flows out until it's at the end of your arm, and you're looking down the barrel at some target in the distance. You know you could hit it. You know nobody else in the world could make this shot, but you can. And yet, there's no demon.
I also want to check out Fireball.
Yes, so you. And again, same thing. You don't have to. In game mechanics, you don't have to make a roll to do this. In other words, in game terms, you don't have to ask the demon for help. You don't have to cut the deal with the demon that you've always had to cut to do these things. You just concentrate and you're wrapped in fire. You create fireballs all around you.
I'm starting to thinking, but how? And so we're looking around.
And the voice vibrates up through the ground again and says, "It was always you."
But I didn't born with these powers.
Yes, you did. You just didn't know you had it until the demon tricked you. I have to admit, in a very weird sense, he did you a favor. But the price you were forced to pay is far too much, and I will not have you pay that price anymore.
But I read in books that you are unpredictable.
Unpredictable is a word that people use when they don't understand what you're doing. I'm sure you have had experiences in the past where you did a thing and people said it was the wrong thing, only for in the future at some point it turned out to be the right thing. I am thousands
Yeah.
of years old. My experience is beyond your imagining. My ability to gather information is global. And in all the world, Vanessa, there is only one you.
Maybe you're right, but I always wanted to be more like others, to blend in crowd and have simple life.
I have good news and bad news. You're never going to blend in because heroes don't. But you will have the life you desire. You will have peace. But first, we have to
I
save the world.
I doubt I will have simple peaceful life with saving everybody.
And you get an image in your head, and it's the Espoir, and all of you on it. But it's different. It's clearly in the future. You and all the people on the boat are older by a couple of years. The boat itself has been upgraded, fancified. It's got new paint. It's got a new bowsprit. It's got bigger cannons. It's just a much more advanced version of the Espoir. And as the camera swoops down from above and cuts in through all the rigging and the ray and the sails and everything else, you see the four of you: Ben, Cassandra, Anchor, and yourself on the poop deck, laughing and joking. And as people paddle by in canoes and small boats, they wave and smile and throw flowers at you. And then Cassandra turns to you and says, "We've done well. It's time to go home."
Financially, we wipe tears, but
Me
as
too.
should
Holy
we,
cow.
but as should we be wiping tears? Should we look at her hand? Why it stayed demon when demon gone?
The voice vibrates up through the ground again and says, "To remind you."
Remind what?
To remind you of your past and what made you what you are. As much as we hate that that demon was in you, it is a key element. It turned you into what you are. It hardened you. It made you like steel. But it also made you care because it didn't.
Yes, but I have very good memory. Then why people will look at this and pointing out and be afraid?
You will soon be famous, and they will know. Like a peg leg on a pirate, they will know that that is a reminder of an event in the past. It is not an event that made you, but it is an event that happened nonetheless. They will not fear it. They will have names for you that take the arm into account. Vanessa Redhand, Vanessa Claw. All of these names will be said with great love and respect, not fear.
Vanessa will rub her demon hand with other hand.
And you realize that even though it is demonic, it's scaly and it's red and it's got claws, it's yours. You control it, not the demon. And it does things. It has powers of its own. It's stronger than you are. But now with you in control, you control that strength. And you can turn it to good instead of to evil.
So we just side again like, eh, and keep going.
And keep going. As you get to the base of the volcano, you can see above you bits of smoke and steam coming out of various vents. It looks like that's probably going to be the easiest way to get in, and be to find one of these vents and just walk in. But you also notice that it's even more lush around here. The plants are coming back with a vengeance. It's like it's almost too green. Something is causing this place to be very fecund and very, somebody's helping this place come back from the scrap that it was.
Vanessa will investigate vents and who is doing this.
And you find one vent that's big enough to walk into. And as you do, as you step in, you feel that blast of steam come out. And it's very soft on your skin. It's very gentle. It's very pleasant. There's nothing nasty about it at all. And as you step into the darkness, it takes a little while for your eyes to adjust. And you see that ahead of you, only 10 meters ahead of you, it opens up. This narrow vent opens up into a huge open space. You can hear echoes in it. And as you take those few steps forward and look, far, far below you, there's a lava pool that is a red bubbling mass. That's where the heat and the steam are coming from. But it also provides light. Just enough light to see that the entire inside of this volcano is hollow. It's not a mountain at all. When you look, it takes a while for you to process, because it looks for all the world like ribs and a skeleton and bones. But of a snake? The entire mountain has grown up around the skeleton of a leviathan, coiled like a snake, where each coil sits on top of the one below it and is slightly smaller. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks like a
Yes.
cone. Yeah. And right at the very top, just inside where it opens up, you can see this huge Leviathan skull. And even though it's a skull, you feel an eye in it turn to look at you. And it smiles and says, "Rid me of this pest, and the world is yours."
How you are alive.
I chose to be here. I chose to let the flesh fall from my bones. I have waited thousands of years for this moment. You and your friends will cleanse this island and start the process.
But you were before this end of the world. Then why you choose?
Because, like you, it pains me to see people suffer.
But you suffered.
As have you.
Yeah, but why you waiting for this moment? Why not previous people or future people?
In my millennia of experience, I have discovered that you cannot force things to happen. You can help them happen when it is their time, and you can guarantee, or at least improve their chances. But you do not decide, even I do not decide when things occur. Now is the time.
It didn't happen before when I had crack.
That was part of it. Your whole life is part of it. The people you came from, the background, the stories, the history, the mysteries, the mythology. It is all part of what is built to this moment. Rebirth requires
Okay,
rebirth requires death
okay, no,
first. This planet is dead, and now, only now, can we save it.
okay, no pressure. And also,
It's this huge
also,
mountain rattling laugh.
also, why you didn't stop end of the world?
As I said, you cannot change. You can only assist. Believe me, I tried. It's part of why I'm trapped here. But the world needed to suffer first, before it could be saved. So I waited.
And and what will be looking might change.
You will give them what they need. You will give them hope. And people with hope cannot be
But I'm
stopped.
asking, but I'm asking, my change in me will be somehow looking or just I need to keep going.
Your work is almost done. Your struggle is almost complete. Soon, and I mean soon in your terms, not in mine, soon you will be able to relax. You will be able to breathe. You will be able to be yourself. But we do have one small issue first. Your friends are about to arrive, and they are about to enter into a battle they cannot win without you. I cannot help, not in this form, not yet. So, go
You
ahead.
will change too?
When this is done, and there's a pause, and there's like he chokes up, you can hear the emotion in his voice. I will get my flesh back, and I will release myself back into the waters of the world.
Okay,
And we shall all be free.
okay,
And at that moment, you sort of, in that pause, you look down, and below you, several layers down in this massive, hollowed out mountain, you see and hear the sounds of people approaching. But you see that they're about to walk into a trap. There are mechanisms designed to fire arrows down hallways. There are fire traps designed to drop boiling oil on people. You are the only one that knows that those exist. And you hear the booming voice of Anchor deep down in the mountain. You hear his voice boom out and say, "We shall do this. We shall succeed for Vanessa and the others." And that is where I want to give you one chance to respond to that, and then we're going to drop the curtain.
I will start to do something to deactivate the traps.
Yep. From where you are,
And
you've got shots.
welcome,
Like you can
and
shoot things from here. So yeah.
I will shoot, and also I will jump to the hall when they activate these traps
Yep.
to welcome them by surprise.
Perfect. So you, in a
And I will
flowing movement.
say,
Yep.
and I will say to them, "Did you guys miss me?" And
I love it.
nonchalant.
So in a flow, in with all your skills and all your talents and all of that ghostliness that goes along with Vanessa when she's in hunting mode. All of that triggers, but not because of the demon, but because of you and because of the love you have for your crew. And as you drop down and land beside them and say, "Did you miss me?" That is where we will drop the curtain on tonight. This afternoon.
I
Sorry,
want,
it's only 1 o'clock.
I
So,
want,
yeah.
I want in the way that they walk to the hall and see me.
Yes.
And
Yep.
I said that.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. We'll replay that scene at the very start of Friday. Just that drop down scene where you appear to them, and that's how we'll start. Well, we've got to get, they're not quite here yet, but it'll take me maybe 15 minutes to get them here. And then we'll do that. We'll go through the encounter, we'll have the big fight, and then we're going to have the conversation between the Leviathan, you, and the rest of the crew as to what's going to happen in the future. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I wish that after dark with Leviathan, I will have for memory Vanessa, we have tattoo of Leviathan.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yeah, but I'm gonna save that as a surprise for Vanessa, even though you told me, and I want it to be a surprise for Vanessa. Maybe we put it on the other arm, the opposite of the scaly arm, so that there's the
Yes,
demon on one arm and the power of the Leviathan on the other, because the Leviathan hasn't given you all of its secrets yet. There's uh,
yes,
there's some things that are going to get added, but let's leave that for next week. So I'm going to hit the end of the recording now.